be talking about my most anticipated book releases of 2020. So this video is a fun video for me, but except it's a very hard list to come up with every time. So I narrowed it down to 5 books that I'm most anticipated for this year, and yeah, let's get to the books that I am most anticipated for this year. So the first book that I'm most anticipated for is A Heart So Fierce and Broken by Bridget Kramer. This is the sequel to A Curse So Dark and Lonely, which I'm really excited about. I loved it last year, and I'm so excited about the sequel. And so that's all. I don't want to give much details about the sequel, but the first book is about it's a Beauty and Beast retelling, obviously, about a girl named Harper who has been transferred from her world to the magical world where the Beast lives, aka Prince Ren lives, and the whole story goes from there. And of course the sequel follows what happened after the first book, which I'm really excited about. I just can't help but be excited about this sequel just because I'm just really excited to read it, and it comes out on January 7th, which is an awesome day. I don't know why, but I'm just very excited to read this sequel. The next book that I'm really excited about is The Night Country by Melissa Albert, which is a sequel to The Hazelwood, which I really enjoyed. I'm definitely going to be reading this physically because I didn't enjoy the audiobook that much, but the first book's about a girl whose grandmother just died, and she's the author of a lot of fairy tale kind of stories, and her mother goes missing, and that's what happens in the first book. And then of course the second book follows what happens after the first book. I really want to read it, especially when I enjoyed it the first time. I think I'm gonna read it physically other than listening to the audiobook, since I didn't enjoy the audiobook that much. So I'm just excited about some of the sequels that are coming out this year, especially this one. The next book that I'm really excited about is Seven Deadly Shadows by Courtney Alameda. I think that's how the last name is pronounced. But I'm really excited about this book. It comes out on January 28th, and it's about a girl who gets bullied at school, and her parents ignores her, and the only place that she feels like she belongs is at her grandfather's house, where she's trained to be a priestess. But then one day she ends up her family gets attacked by yokai demons, and then she figures out how to save her family, and that's all I really want to know about this book. I feel like from what I've heard about this book, it's based on a Japanese mythology. Like, it sounds similar to Shadow of the Fox that I've read last year, and I really enjoy that because it really reminds me of an anime show that I watched, and I just really liked, and I'm just really excited to read this another book that is based on a Japanese mythology. So the next book that I'm most anticipated for is All the Stars and Teeth by Adeline Grace, and this is a young adult fantasy book that is recommended towards fans of Caraval and Throne of Glass, which I have not read Throne of Glass yet, but I am a fan of Caraval, which I'm really excited about. This book is released on February 4th, and I'm trying to remember what the plot is, so I'm going to read the synopsis of the book from the Goodreads. Basically, it's about a girl who's a princess of a kingdom, and then she's trained to be an animator, if that's how it's pronounced, the master of souls. Okay, that's what it is. And then she meets this pirate, and that's all I really want to know. A lot of books I want to get into it like without knowing a lot, because I like to be surprised on how much I like it, but from the sounds of it, it's kind of a mix of Caraval and Daughter of the Pirate King, except she changes up with a pirate. That's all I really found out from the synopsis, and I'm just really excited about that. And of course, I definitely really want to get into fantasy, because I feel like last year I did not read a lot of fantasy, and that's my favorite genres, my number one favorite genre. So I really want to read it, seeing this as a fantasy that really grabs my interest the most. The next book that I'm really excited about this year is The Queen's Assassin by Melissa De La Cruz, and this also comes out on February 4th, and it's about the the one and only Queen's assassin, and then he or she has to find this magical object, and then he or she has to find this guild. I think that was it. I couldn't tell if it. Yeah, the assassin and is my also. I just read through the synopsis and trying to figure out what it's about. But it really grabbed my interest because I mean you can hardly read a lot of books about the royals like most trusted person in the kingdom. So I'm like, this really grabbed my interest. Not only the cover is like really beautiful, but I also really want to read it because I think someone has read an arc of it and really enjoyed it. I don't remember on top of my head right now, but it's another book that I'm really excited to read. The next book that I'm really excited about is The Shadow Between Us by Trisha Levenseller, which is the author of Dara the Pirate King. I haven't read her new book, Warrior of the Wild, yet, but I really want to, and I also want to read this one, which is about a girl who's planning on winning over the Shadow King and marrying him and then kill her and take over the kingdom, but there's someone else who's also trying to kill the Shadow King, which that's a plot that really grabs my interest. Plus, I'm not sure if it reminds me of another book that I've read, but another book that I'm really excited to read about, especially from the author of one of my favorite books of all time. The next book that I'm really excited about is Red Hood by Elena K. Arnold, which is the author of Damsel, which another book that I haven't read yet. But this is a Little Red Riding Hood retelling, and I have not read any Little Red Hood retelling since Scarlet part of the Lunar Chronicles, but I'm really excited about it because I haven't read another Little Red Riding Hood retelling since then, and it's just a lot of retellings have grown my interest. It's like I only want to know what the retelling is and just want to go into it blind, like only know one thing of it, which I really like about a lot of fairy tale retellings. But I'm really excited to read this. Hopefully this will be a group book for Fairy Tale-a-thon, just because we're trying to do something different for this year, and I'm definitely excited about it. And hopefully we'll figure out what the group book is, and now I'll talk about it in the announcement video. But I'm definitely excited to wanted to read another fairy tale retelling that I'm really familiar with, but I'm really excited about it at the same time. Another book that I'm really excited about is Great Thorn by Crystal Smith, which is a sequel to Bloodleaf, which you guys know is one of my favorite books of last year. And if you haven't read the first book is about a girl who's not only a princess, but she's also part of the witch family, and she runs away to take over the throne to disguise herself as a commoner, and the whole story goes from there. And I love the first book so much that I want to read the sequel, and it's just really exciting to me that I'm enjoyed a lot of books that I want to read the sequel of, and I'm just really excited about it. And this comes out in June 2nd. Another book that I'm really excited about coming out this year is My Calamity Jane by the Lady Janies, and this is a third book of the My Lady Jane series. And of course, you don't have to read the My Lady Jane before you read Plain Jane, just because they don't follow the same characters, they follow different Janes, and I'm really excited about this one. All I know about this one, this Jane, it takes place in the Western time, and she teams up with Annie Oakley, and I did not expect this kind of plot at all. I was hoping that I'm still hoping like one of the next My Lady Jane books would be about Jane Austen, because I like Jane Austen, and this one I am really excited about because I never read a Western book before, and since this Jane teams up with Annie Oakley, which I am familiar with this famous person. I don't know how famous Annie Oakley is, but anyways, I'm really excited to read a Western that I'm just haven't read before. Lastly, but definitely not least, the last book that I'm really excited about for the whole year is The Silvered Serpents by Rashani Kachki. I'm sorry that I butchered the author's name, but it's a sequel to The Gilded Wolves, which I'm really excited about. If you haven't read the first book is about a group of characters that are teamed up to find a magical artifact before this group of people finds it, and this reminds me of National Treasure when I read it, and I love the characters and I love the story so much that I really want to continue with the sequel to see what the story goes from there. And I have a lot of sequels that I'm anticipating for 2020. I'm just loved a lot of books, and I know I am behind on a lot of book sequels, but these are definitely the ones I'm most excited for, and hopefully I'll get to all the books that I'm most anticipated for. And I'm just really excited about some of the books that are coming out in 2020, even though this list was really hard to narrow down. And I'm glad that I saved this book for last, and it comes out on September 22nd, which is really unusual because usually people find a book start coming up from January to June, but this one is definitely worth saving most for last for my most anticipated books of the year list. So that's all for my most anticipated books of the year. I definitely will talk about my most anticipated book releases for the second half of the year when that happens. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up and comment down below some of the books that you're most anticipated for this year, because I'm curious and I really want to try out some books that not only I am excited about, but I really want to discover more books that I never heard of before or something like that. But let me know in the comments down below what books that you're most anticipated for. Also, you can follow me on social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Goodreads, which all the links will be down below for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!